Hello, you're watching Outsiders Weather and the Skeptics Ice Age Watch, where terrified Californians watched in horror on November 19th as, quote, the highest tide ever known in San Francisco swept up the bay, with 3 boys narrowly escaping death and water surging terrifyingly like fountains up out of the drains. Rising sea levels, global warming. Perhaps, but it was November 19th in 1918, 102 years ago. Meanwhile, as global warming ravages the planet, the UK Telegraph warns that we'll all be forced to eat spiky carrot seeds, yum, to survive as crops around the world are destroyed by catastrophic climate change. But hang on. On the very same day, the ABC here reported that we have just had a record-breaking day for our crops as silos burst at the seams during a bumper harvest. You couldn't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, ice, rain and north winds have turned Vladivostok and most of the Primoria region into a frozen land, according to the Siberian Times. Must read that. With hundreds of power lines cut by wet snow. Flights were delayed, many roads and several bridges were shut, with local authorities urging drivers to stay home in their larders. School and kindergartens had to close, so the poor Russian kiddies would have missed out on their global warming lessons. Shame. And, as Electroverse points out, the ice and snow forced the Vostochnaya combined heat and power plant to halt its electricity production on Thursday, leaving over 120,000 Vladivostok residents unable to heat their homes in brutal sub-zero temperatures. Not much global warming in transcontinental Russia of late, alas, with unusually high snowdrifts up to your waist, reported in many territories. But it's not just Russia. India, too, is feeling the effects of a grand solar minimum and low sunspot activity, with the capital, New Delhi, recording a minimum of 7.5 degrees Celsius on Friday, the lowest minimum temperature in November in at least 14 years, and 5 notches below normal. The all-time record for the lowest minimum temperature in New Delhi in November is 3.9 degrees Celsius, recorded on November 28th, 1938. Cold winds blowing from snow-laden western Himalayas have led to the dip in the mercury, which is expected to continue for several days. Now, back in Joe Biden's America, where the so-called president-elect is promising drastic action to tackle global warming, they've just had the coldest morning of the season and record low temperatures in South Jersey. Atlantic City dropped to minus 6.66 degrees on Thursday morning, joining 2014, 2005 and 1997 as years where the thermometer also dipped that low. The town of Millville also tied a record low set in 2005, also of 6.66 degrees below zero. And speaking of zero, finally, some very encouraging net zero news that should warm the hearts of the luvvies. According to this chart published by Ice Age Reentry and based on NOAA, NASA and other reputable climate sources, the year-on-year temperature averages for all of Sweden over the last 70 years of the greenhouse effect of global warming, of catastrophic climate change, of global heating, all show, wait for it, net zero change. Net zero. No wonder Greta always looks so miserable. So, as a special service for Outsiders kiddies and grandkiddies, here's Jack Hartman spelling out, so you can remember, precisely how many degrees warmer Sweden has become on average in the last 70 years of global warming.
Everybody up, nobody sit. This is number 0 and it looks like this. Everybody move, nobody quit. Move your body, make a zero just like this. Start at the top, curve around. No straight lines, go all the way round. Start at the top, curve around. No straight lines, go all the way round.
And that's it for Outsiders Weather and the Skeptics. Ice Age Watch.